Welcome, bienvenidos. Let's talk about unpopular opinions. And the first unpopular opinion on this series is going to be, let's normalize putting your mental health above all the noise, including politics, especially politics. So what happened was, I have a bunch of friends that are very politically, they're very educated on politics. They're very much the kind of people that will post political all the time. In fact, when I don't see a political post, I'm kind of glad that they're taking a step back because they get very heated on social media. Let's be clear that none of us know exactly how real any of this is. When you go on social media and you see a lot of rage bait, chances are half of the people are trolling and half of the people are actually taking it seriously. Unfortunately, we have come to a point where it's very hard to tell when somebody's making a joke and when somebody's actually talking serious. There are too many morons running around the internet. That doesn't help the situation. And worst of all, many of the people who are doing parodies, it just feels like it's the truth. A few months ago, I made the decision that I was not going to talk politics on any of my social media. That doesn't mean I don't quote tweet. And sometimes I do comment on things I see on Twitter or the Whale app or Blue Sky. But the reality is that if I am making a video like what's happening this month, I have no intention of going political with it. Now, are some things considered political because the politicians have turned them into political things? Absolutely. And there's always this debate. Is this human rights? Is human rights political? It has always been political. To me, human rights are human rights. I don't need to make it political because it's kind of political in and of its own. So if I talk about something that is a human right, I'm not trying to be political in the sense that I'm not interested in red, blue, green, whatever. I'm interested in the human rights. If that is considered a political issue, then I guess I'm being political. But I am not meaning to be political in the sense that I'm not interested in the red and the blue. To me, they're all the same. They're all full of crap. If you haven't figured that out by now, I can't help you. But let's take this one situation that I've been noticing a lot lately, because even amongst my friends, I have been noticing a lot of burnout. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have a job, I have a life, and I do this. I had stopped doing this because I couldn't figure out how to fit it into my life. But I made a commitment to myself that I wanted to keep making content even if nobody watches, just because I wanted to feel like I was doing something creative, okay? And I was sharing opinions and whatnot. There are other channels and other social media that I have where I put more pictures and things like that. But I wanted to see how this went. And I have to say that I'm very surprised that I've posted content fairly regularly in the month of October. That doesn't mean every month I'm going to post a million videos. It just means that it felt good to post content. But the number one thing that I am noticing every time I try to stay away from politics, or that I make the effort to stay out of politics, is that somebody brings up that you cannot not be political. Allow me to explain something to you for those of you who've never seen me before and those of you who don't know. I was born in Boriquen, better known to you people as Puerto Rico, okay? I was born 58 years ago, which makes me Gen X. I have always been involved in politics in one way or the other, not necessarily as a politician myself, but I have always been very vocal about what I support and what I don't support. I have also received backlash like you wouldn't believe, because people seem to think that the fact that I want to put my mix of races above the fact that I look this way is an issue for some people. People that look like this tend to think that I'm being a racist, because how dare you deny your whiteness? Because I don't consider myself white. I'm sorry. I am mixed. I call myself a mud, and that upsets some people that consider themselves Puerto Ricans. I don't care. I consider myself a mud. I have Italian, Japanese, African, Spaniard, and of course, Taino blood in me. So I don't consider myself any one thing. I consider myself all of those things. Do I have internal struggles? No, because I didn't decide this. Somebody decided this for me a long time ago. If you live in this side of the planet, chances are that you have mixed blood. Very high. Very, very high. The odds that you might be this color and have absolutely nothing other than this European, this color, are very slim. Even if you don't want to accept it. Even if it's just 1% or 3%. By the way, don't start with the percentages. I don't care. For the purposes of this conversation, if you are so much as 99% one thing and 1% another, you're mixed. I find it fascinating that people who have not lived my life, who have not dealt with people calling me dirty because I was born in an island and I will always be dirty because I'm not one race. You have not dealt with people chasing you down a supermarket because you dare to talk on your phone in Spanish. You have never been the one, you're probably not the person who goes to work, which, by the way, I was hired because I spoke Spanish so I could take care of Spanish speaking customers. But then a bunch of us are sitting at a lunchroom having lunch speaking Spanish, and somebody that doesn't speak Spanish complained that the Latinos are only speaking Spanish. Why? Because they wanted to know what we were saying. Were we talking about them? Absolutely not. That's the funny thing about speaking two languages. Chances are you can complain about somebody speaking a different language, but nobody's talking about you. Nobody cares. And by the way, I'm the kind of person that if I'm going to say something about you, I'm going to say it in a language that you can't understand, because I like for you to know that you're annoying me. So that would never happen anyway. And yes, I have been dragged by my daughter because somebody did us wrong on a queue or something, and I'll be like, would you look at this person, blah 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 blah, like, and she gets really upset with me for doing that. I have been through all the things that I've just explained to you and many others. And so for somebody to tell me, no, you have to speak about political causes, you can kiss my ass. Because the reality is, I'm tired. I am tired to hitting walls so that you can feel more comfortable with the fact that you haven't done enough. If you want to talk politics, by all means, talk all the politics you want. There are many channels on YouTube and on other social media that are really good at what they do and that talk politics all the time. We all don't have to talk about politics. More importantly, for those of us who are directly impacted by the current politics in this country and other countries, there is a point where we have to put our mental health first. I am not interested in debating people who are not willing to do the research to find out if what they've been fed is true. I am done. I am absolutely done trying to explain to somebody that the things that you're hearing from your favorite politician may or may not be true. I am done telling people that if you want to find out, and I'm going to give you an example that has nothing to do with politics so that you understand where I'm going with this. I am tired of telling people that if you want to know if the charity that you are supporting is a good charity, all you have to do is go to this site and find out, because they do an analysis of everything. I am tired of telling people that if they want to know if the history of a particular country is good or not, or you're being told the truth, you can go to several sites and find out. I am tired of telling people that if you really want to know what the effect of a particular medication is, go to the Mayo Clinic, go to any other of the sites that you're seeing on the screen right now and find out. I'm literally tired of telling people where to go looking for stuff, because Google is free. It comes on your phone. I have an iPhone. See this? This is an iPhone. And guess what is my search page? That's my search page. Yeah, I was looking for tennis shoes. Google is free and it's pervasive. It's and what I mean by that is that it's everywhere. Okay? It's not that hard for you to go to a search engine, probably Google, and find out if what you're being told is true or not. So why do I have to sit here and give you information that you can find out for free? And before you tell me there's a lot of misinformation on the internet, correct. And it is your job as an intelligent human being to go and check several sources before you make a decision on whether or not you think what you've been told is misinformation or not. More importantly, if I, as somebody from the island of Boriquén, better known to you as Puerto Rico, is telling you that I, as a Puerto Rican, know that XYZ facts about Puerto Rico are true, you have the goal to tell me that I'm lying, even though I lived in Puerto Rico for over 30 years. I can't help you. I honestly cannot help you. It's the same with African Americans. If an African American tells you something about slavery, for example, and you tell them that they're lying because some person told you differently, and you don't do your research on Google, you don't look for several sources to confirm or deny the information that you've been given, that's a you problem. And I don't care anymore to try to correct the misinformation that you're being fed, because that's your job as a human being. Now, there's a second reason why I don't want to do this anymore, and it's really rather simple. It's the fact that we have way too much political information and misinformation on this God's internet, like they call it. And so I think that my time would be better served if I give you something to be entertained, inspired, or laugh at, or whatever, or give you some information that might make you think, but has nothing to do with politics. Does that deny the reality that I'm living in right now? No. Does that deny the fact that we are, having some hard times in several countries right now? No. We're tired. Our mental health is struggling because there's a lot of misinformation on both sides, by the way. And I am exhausted. So am I hanging out as much as I used to on social media? No. There's 500,000 books I can read here. There's 500 notebooks I can fill up with thoughts and pictures and drawings. And that's what I'm about to do. Now, does that mean that I'm not going to do commentary? No, there's a lot of stuff I can do commentary on that has nothing to do with politics. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you want to watch those, come and sit here and hang out with me, have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine or whatever you want to drink, and come and leave a comment and let me know how I'm doing. Otherwise, do not ask me to make an effort for something that you should have made an effort before you came here, because I'm tired. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.